For today's project, we are going to be mechanical engineers and build a catapult. Our catapult uses tension and energy to launch small objects.
Now that we know what we're making, let's make sure that we have all of our materials ready. Inside our project bag, we should have 10 small popsicle sticks, 1 bottle cap, 4 medium rubber bands, and 1 double-sided square. Optionally, we can also use a marker, which we might get to later in the project. Once you have all of your materials ready, we can start building our project.
Let's start by making the catapult's base. We are going to need 2 popsicle sticks and 1 of our rubber bands. Take the 2 popsicle sticks and lay them on top of each other. Using the rubber band, secure one end of the popsicle sticks by wrapping the rubber band around the end multiple times. Be careful not to break your rubber band. And also make sure that you're not securing it too close to the middle of the popsicle sticks, as this will make it more difficult to use your catapult. Now that we are finished with our base, let's create the fulcrum for our catapult. We're going to need 3 popsicle sticks and 2 rubber bands. Just like our base, we are going to lay down the 3 popsicle sticks on top of each other. Then, instead of only securing one end of the popsicle sticks, we are going to secure both ends by wrapping each rubber band around the end multiple times. Again, be careful not to break your rubber bands. And the fulcrum can also be created using more or less popsicle sticks, creating a variety of different launch speeds and heights. After your project is complete, you can have students try these different heights. Once you have finished the fulcrum, carefully slide it perpendicularly between the 2 popsicle sticks of your base. Then take your final rubber band and try your best to secure the fulcrum to the base by wrapping it around the popsicle sticks several times. I recommend wrapping the rubber band around in an X to best keep the fulcrum from moving. Now we can begin building the launcher portion of our catapult. We are going to need our bottle cap and our double-sided tape. Peel off one side of the double-sided tape and attach it to the flat end of our bottle cap. Then, peel off the other side of the double-sided tape and secure it to one end of the catapult arm that does not have any rubber bands. Make sure to leave about ½ an inch of space between the popsicle stick and the bottle cap to have a place to pull back on the arm with your finger. I also like to suggest you stick the bottle cap onto the arm with the double-sided tape like a diamond to cover the most surface area possible. This will ensure the bottle cap will not fly off. Now that your catapult project is finished, we can start testing it. Grab some small objects that you're able to launch. I encourage you to use cotton balls with your students, but for the purpose of today's video, I'm going to use a small double-sided tape. Now with one hand, you're going to hold the launcher down, the side that doesn't have the bottle cap, and with your other hand, using your other finger, you're going to pull it down. But first, we need to load it. Now following the instructions I mentioned, we're going to pull it down on the arm with one finger, and when you're ready to launch, just let go. Now encourage your students to face the launcher away from others if they are launching anything other than a cotton ball. If your students are having trouble with having a far launch, make sure that their fulcrum is far back enough to the base of the rubber bands to increase the gap between the arm of the catapult and the bottom of the catapult. Now, also make sure that your students aren't trying to launch too heavy of the objects, otherwise it might not be able to launch as strong as something small like a cotton ball. Now that we are finished building our project, let's talk about how it works. Our catapult uses tension when pulling down on the catapult's arm with one finger. This tension in the arm creates potential energy that can then be transferred into whatever we load into our bottle cap, making it into a projectile using kinetic energy. This demonstrates the law of conservation of energy. Some questions your students can think about are: how can we make our catapult launch heavier objects? How can we make our catapult launch things faster? And how can we make our catapult launch things farther?